Live from Sin City, it's the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. And now, here's the star of the show, Giant Dr. Griffin!
This is Diet Dr. Griffin back with another episode of the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. And we got a lot of managerial hires to talk about here before we get to the World Series, because that's what everybody wants to hear about is managerial hires.
Yay, housekeeping.
But if we don't get to this now, when the heck are we going to get to it?
Never.
Never is right. So we have 3 new managers this week that came out here. The Orioles, Twinkies, and Nationals all made hires. Do you want to guess which one or any of them have had major league coaching experience before?
None.
Nope, one of them has.
Oh, damn it. I thought it was the trick question.
Well, so far, only 2 of the current hires in this cycle, and there have been 6 so far, have had major league experience. And we got the former Pirates manager, Derek Shelton, taking over from the Minnesota Twins.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised he got a deal so quick, but I think teams realize that how poorly managed the organization of the Pittsburgh Pirates is, and you can't really blame it on him. Did you know that the last time, and this could be a fun fact, do you know the last time the Pirates signed a player to a deal that was longer than 1 year? And I'm talking a free agent, not extending their own players. Just a free agent. Doesn't matter dollar value, just any free agent contract that was longer than 1 year.
1979.
2016.
Oh, that's much sooner.
But and that contract was 3 years, $26 million. Von Nova.
Yeah, that's pretty modest.
The year before, their last position player contract that was signed was for 2 years, $8 million.
Jeez,
this is
crazy.
the organization that Paul Skeens is pitching on, and Paul Skeens throughout this World Series is trying to be the face of baseball here. I don't know if you've seen any of his commercials. He's doing the Raising Cane's with the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Yeah, I saw the Raising Cane commercial. Yeah,
and they also had the commercials where Shelton, the former manager at the time, they even highlighted former manager during these commercials. They were talking about Skeens' pitching ritual, his preparation thing, and they show him do all these exercises 2.5 hours a day. And he was like, greatness is boring. Just doing all the mundane stuff.
Yeah, classic.
And I keep thinking to myself, man, this guy's got New York Yankees written all over him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a Met, but I just got a feeling this guy's going to be in the Yankees. He's got that mentality, and his girlfriend is already trying to buy property in New York City. Pirates.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, she's famous too. She's like an Olympian or something like that.
She's a gymnast for LSU and an one of these social media darlings.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
She's more famous than he is, even though he's arguably the best pitcher in the game today.
I mean, Yoshinobu Yamamoto might, have something to say about that, but.
Well, Paul Skeens is about to win the Cy Young Award right now. We can get to Yoshinobu Yamamoto because his performances in the playoffs.
Yeah, would you rather win a Cy Young or a World Series MVP? That's your question. So.
Well, one's got the money and one doesn't, so it doesn't. But let's stick to our managerial hires. We have some random guy named Craig Albernaz, who is the guy the Orioles hired.
Who's that guy?
I believe he was on the coaching staff of the Guardians the past couple of years.
Oh, okay. So.
And then in the other, who have you never heard of category, we got Blake Batera, who is the new Nationals manager. He is 33 years old.
Oh, there we go.
And he has basically been a minor league organization manager with the Rays.
All right, yeah. Give the kid a chance. See what he's got.
His record in the minors is 258 and 144.
Oh, they're gonna be some players that are older than him.
Yeah, although not many on the Nationals. The Nationals still have one of the younger squads out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's why they think that the minor league skipper can help get the younger guys to do it. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't want to rule a kid out as 33. That's
Yeah.
too early to tell. And so now with that left, there are three teams that do not have managers: the Atlanta Braves, the San Diego Padres, and the Colorado Rockies.
Mm.
So
Dude,
we'll see
I
how those.
feel bad for whoever has to go to the Rockies dumpster fire of a team.
Yeah, I mean the Rockies have at least spent more money than the Pirates have.
Yeah, they have tried to go for the White Sox record this year, and not the best. That's not the best record to have. So
No, no, there are some pieces in Colorado, but not many. Maybe
yeah,
like
that's true.
two.
They got that
They got Hunter
catcher
Goodman,
Goodman or whatever. Yeah. Yep.
and maybe that Dolander kid grows
Oh yeah,
into
he
something a
has
little.
flashes of brilliance. Yeah, the pitcher.
Yeah, maybe he's
Yeah.
got some potential. I don't know. They got that kid. They got Holiday's other kid in the draft this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So and Matt Holiday, of course, was a longtime Rocky. So
Yeah. There we go.
sure he could maybe do something. I don't know. We'll see with this team.
Yeah.
I think they're still stuck drafting out of the top 10 because of baseball's loving draft rules.
Yeah. I think so too.
All right, and now on to the real meat of the conversation here, the World Series. And dare I say, we there's always a bias towards the moment, but honestly, this you could probably argue that this is at least a top 10 World Series in history right now.
Oh man, the last two games alone were top 10. So
And you had another 18 inning marathon in game 3 in LA.
that was so fun. I watched the whole thing. I was up till like midnight. I had to go to work the next day.
Yeah, I'm a baby. I went to bed in the 14th inning because I have a strict schedule that I keep.
Yeah.
And I knew the Dodgers were going to win anyway, even though I kept dreaming the whole night that the Blue Jays were going to find a way to win. I was going to wake up. But I had to ask Alexa in the morning who won the game. I was like, Freddie Freeman hit a home run. I'm like, damn it.
Damn it. Oh, dude, it was so fun watching that in the moment, though.
Yeah, the thing is though, after a while, the all the guys were doing was just trying to swing for the fence.
I know, but that's what makes it so exciting. Is like so you kind of like get lulled to sleep. And
You
then when
know,
it happened, and then when it happens, you're like, "Oh my God!"
yeah, and that was sort of what happened in the other 18 inning game was that Max Muncy was the one that ended up hitting the home run in that game. And now I
Yeah.
have to clarify which 18 inning World Series game in LA that I went to.
Right.
And the crazy part is that the same guy, Brad Paisley, sang the national anthem at both those games.
Yeah, maybe we just don't let him sing the national anthem anymore. So,
Yeah. I think every single game that he has done the World Series at, and he's done 5 of them, were extra inning games.
oh, classic. Thanks a lot, Brad.
That's a pretty wild stat in and of itself.
Although I gotta say, this extra innings game was like the perfect length. A couple of extras, drama the whole time.
Yeah, we're talking
Uh,
game 7 now here.
yeah, game 7. Yeah,
Now, I was listening to a sports podcast, a business podcast this week, and they broached the idea in the next CBA about adding the ghost runner into the postseason.
yeah. I don't like it, but
The perspective that they were bringing is that, like, as exciting as that event was in the 18 inning game, the feeling that this podcast was talking about was like MLB's thinking like this can never happen again. They literally don't want that scenario happening again, even though it was like a great thing for the fans. And I actually heard people. I rarely hear people talking about baseball the next day after work, but they were talking about this a lot of this series.
yeah, yeah.
Probably because
Well,
the Dodgers
it helps
win.
that it had lots of offense too. I mean, people love it when there's a lot of offense happening.
Yeah, and the story of the World Series for most of it until the very end was that The Blue Jays, when they were hitting their home runs, they were having guys on base, and then the
Yeah.
Dodgers were hitting all solo shots. But then
Yep.
eventually, the solo shots won out.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
the
pretty much
last
how the
two were
scoring was
solo
going.
shots too. So Miguel Rojas, man, to send it to the extras was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Of
That's what
all
happens when
people,
you throw too
Rojas.
many sliders in a row. The guy just sits on it and is like, home run.
This is something I don't really understand about these kind of games. Is that like they turn the pitching staffs into like a participation contest. Like
Yeah,
we
basically.
have to get everybody in. We have to get everybody in, and we have to get the guy who pitched 2 days ago in the game. And I'm like, why don't you just use your bullpen that's rested in these spots instead of just the guy that started the game 2 days ago?
Well, so for Dave Roberts, that bullpen was super shaky. So I can understand his reasoning.
Yeah,
And
I
and
understand his. I
Yamamoto
was
like owned the Blue Jays every single time. So, as far as like his trust tree, it's like Roki Sasaki, kind of, Woblowski, kind of, Yamamoto, 100%. So,
Yeah, they were trusting. They kept mentioning this with Robleski, I believe his name, or whatever his name was. He hadn't pitched in a month before the World Series, and they're trusting him over the guys that
yeah.
they spent millions on.
Dude, I loved what he shouted at Andres Jimenez after he hit him was so good. You could just see it on TV when they played it in slow-mo. And what a bitch move by Jimenez too. Like tries to throw his hand up, tries to get hit. Literally throws his hand up to try to get hit by the baseball, accidentally gets hit by the next pitch, and then has an issue with it. It's like, dude, what are you doing right now?
Oh, I am drawing a blank on somebody who didn't try to get hit by a pitch and should have gotten hit by a pitch and it cost him. I'm drawing a blank if it was in the Mariners series or if it was in the Phillies series, but somebody had the opportunity late in the game to get hit by a pitch and didn't do it and didn't try to do it, and people noticed it.
Yeah, I know that Randy didn't move in order to send it to game 5. Like Randy
Yeah.
could have moved, but he just kind of turned his shoulder and took it on his shoulder. But yeah, Andres Jimenez, that was the one thing about that game last night that I did not understand. Like he literally throws his hand up to try to get hit, then accidentally gets hit and like wants to start a fight. And it's like, dude, you literally tried to get hit on the last pitch. Like, which is it?
Yeah, that was
What do you want, Andres? What do you want? Like, you just literally tried to get hit. Now you have an issue with it? Like, come on, dude.
he has to act. He has to work on his acting lessons at Juilliard Manor in the off season.
Yeah. Oh man, then Lebrowski just starts dropping F bombs at him. That was great. So
Well, when I made my comment about the participation trophy, I was more thinking about you, Savage.
oh yeah,
That
that's
was
true.
my thought. Like, why are you putting you Savage in the situation? Because I know he pitched really well in Game 5, but man, like you're talking about a guy who's had more postseason starts than he had regular season starts in the majors.
Yeah,
Guy who
that's true.
started the season at like high A ball.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're putting a lot on the kid to come back after like 2 days rest when he's like figuring things out still. I thought that was kind of boneheaded.
Yeah, he does have that weird release point, but yeah, it does seem it was a little interesting. Did he give up any runs? I
I
don't
thought he gave
remember.
up the home run to I thought he gave up the home run to Rojas.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did. Yeah. Or yeah. Was that
He
him?
gave up a home run. Oh no, maybe he gave up the earlier home run. He gave up a
Yeah, I
home
think
run that brought the lead down to one. I'm
yeah. Because Miguel Rojas tied it and it was someone else who throws
it
because you
might have been
Savage throws
Muncy
a
or might have been
yeah,
Muncy.
you Savage throws a the split like I think all of the Blue Jays pitchers like a
Yeah,
requirement if you're going to
it
pitch
was
for the Blue
Muncy.
Jays. You have to
He gave
throw a
up a
splitter.
solo shot to Muncy in the eighth.
Yeah, that's right. Because Rojas took their slider pitcher.
Yeah,
Like got
Rojas took it in the ninth,
yeah.
and that's what tied it. I think it was Hoffman.
Oh
Hoffman.
man, dude, when Will Smith hit his home run in the 11th, I was as soon as it left the bat, I was like, "Oh my goodness, is this actually happening right now?"
Yeah. But this was a great one all around. I mean, they started Otani because of the rules in baseball where Otani basically, if you put Otani in as a reliever, you lose his ability to be a DH. But if you put him as a starter, he can stay in the game. So that's why they had him start.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was like super weird. It was super weird the way that the Dodgers set up their pitching in this game because they had to bring in Tyler Glass now to finish game 6, which in and of itself was crazy because everybody knew Glass now was going to start game 7.
Yeah.
They put him in that game, and he ended up only needing he only needed like a handful of pitches to get through it. He did not have to get super used up. So my thinking was the entire time was like, okay, just let Otani go a couple innings, then just put Glasnow in and let him just go for a few innings as well.
Yeah. See, just let Glasnow go as long as he can, and
Basically,
then
yeah.
yeah.
Instead, they go Otani for 2, and they try to get a third inning out of Otani. And Otani is here pitching on half the rest that he's normally accustomed to. The way that they have been pitching him throughout the playoffs, he basically would pitch like game 4 of each of the series.
Yeah, and the fact that he's coming off of injury too. So
Yeah, he did not pitch effectively, and he gave up a 3-run homer to Bo Bichette,
hmm
which in and of itself could have been enough to win the game for the Blue Jays, but it didn't end up happening that way.
well, dude, and I think another thing you could point to with the Blue Jays and a mistake that was made is when they took Bo Bichette out for IKF because IKF's faster, and then he came up to bat and was a strikeout later on in the game.
At the same time, though, there was a point where Bo Bichette was on third, and he couldn't score because of he couldn't run the bases effectively, and they lost out on a run earlier in the game because they had left him in.
Yeah,
'Cause
so I mean
he
that's a
couldn't.
tough one, I guess. Do you
Yeah,
go?
and
Yeah,
I think there was a point in the middle of the game. I forget what inning it was, but at one point he couldn't advance from first to third on a single, and then there was another point where they hit another single afterwards, and he couldn't get home because he couldn't run fast enough. I mean, he's basically running at the same pace that Kirk can run right now because
yeah,
of his knee injury.
yeah.
And
Kirk
just I
or
gotta say this about Fat Boy
Josh
right now
Naylor
here.
too. Yeah,
I gotta say this about Fat Boy right now. If getting a double inning and if getting a World Series ending double play because you're super slow doesn't motivate this guy to lose like with 50 pounds during the offseason, I don't know what will.
yeah. That
Because
was
if he
that.
had any bit of speed, he would have gotten on base at the end of that game, and at least it would have been 1 out instead of the double play.
Yeah, well, they would have won the game because there was the runner on third. So if they don't turn the double play, then the game's
Yeah.
over. So
Yeah.
it
Well, it
literally,
would have been
if
tied. It
he,
would have been tied. It wouldn't have been the game over.
oh yeah, that's right, it would have been tied. So yeah, if he makes it to first, game's tied, and there's more baseball to be played. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna Google something quickly. If you have anything you want to add, I'm gonna go
Will
talk about
Smith
football.
Will Smith set the record for most innings catched in the postseason. Especially, I mean, he got helped out because he had the 18 inning game, but
Yeah, but even then, how is that still possible that that record held up for like 100 years?
I did. It's crazy. Baseball's a crazy sport. So.
Oh my God. Okay, this is what's wild. Okay, Alejandro Kirk has a base running run value of 1
Oh,
out
okay.
of 100. 1 out of 100.
Oh, okay. I
His
was like,
sprint
1 out of 10.
speed
That's not that bad. So
His sprint speed is 2 out of 100, which means there is actually somebody slower than Alejandro Kirk.
it might be Josh Naylor. Honestly, I know he's down at the bottom somewhere.
I think
So
Naylor's faster. I thought Naylor was like under 10%, but
type in Josh Naylor on your computer right
all
now. I
right,
bet.
I'm gonna
I think
pull.
he's got to be like around there somewhere.
I'm
That
trying
was
to
why everyone was like, he went to the Mariners and started stealing bases, and everyone's like, he's not fast. So like, how is he doing this?
yeah, yeah. Kirk is like billed at 245. Okay, he has a 3 out of 100 on sprint speed.
Yeah, see, I told you he was down there.
Yeah, I knew he was slow. I didn't realize. I thought he was closer to like 6.
No, he's like it's Alejandro Kirk then him apparently. So
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find this thing. I don't do all this stuff on Baseball Savant all this time, but okay, sprint speed. Here we go. I've got to find the lowest sprint speed, or the lowest sprint speed. Lowest sprint speed apparently is Martin Maldonado,
nice. There, someone had to do it.
and apparently Alejandro Kirk is 11th. There must be some qualifying statistics
Ooh.
in there. Although Stanton has apparently a home plate to first base of 5.22 seconds, which is apparently slower than anybody.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
He's no, they want him to hit home runs anyway, so maybe he's just out of practice.
Yeah, he
He's more of a
doesn't Stanton doesn't
jogger.
run because he doesn't want to mess up his hamstrings.
Yeah, that's right. I
That's
forgot
pretty much his reasoning.
he has glass hamstrings. I forgot. Everyone on the Yankees this year had glass hamstrings. I feel like everyone had a hamstring injury. Actually, it was pretty much all of baseball. Everyone had
Yeah,
hamstring
hamstrings are
injuries this year.
hamstrings, and if you come back too early from an injury, you can really mess yourself up. And I was shocked with how effective George Springer was coming back from
Dude,
his
me
oblique
too.
injury.
He almost legged out an infield single. I was like, what?
Yeah,
They must have just given him the same stuff they gave Freddie Freeman last year. They're just like, all right, we're gonna pump you full of drugs and go out there and hit baseball.
yeah, I must have like given him a ton of Toradol or something just to
Yeah.
really
You'll
push
you'll
through
feel
it.
nothing while you're out there.
Yeah, because normally you get an oblique injury, you're out for like 6 weeks, especially like the
Well,
one that he had.
dude, and not only that, like literally yesterday, well now it's yesterday, the game six, he was wincing after every swing. It was like, yeah,
And the thing is, though, he in the last two games, he went 5 for 10.
yeah.
Like
No,
it
he was
wasn't just that
lights out.
he was still performing even with these injuries, and just it's pretty wild that he came back and was able to do that and gut it out.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty. They should have given Bo Bichette more drugs, and then he would have been able to run around the bases. So,
Yeah, I mean that's the one difference is that Springer's injury, at least on his side, so it was more of a swinging thing than
running thing.
running
Yeah,
thing. And Bo Bichette's a free agent too, coming in the offseason, so
yeah.
there might
So,
have
and
been
he
that
had
factor.
him and George Springer were the two most improved hitters in all of baseball from last year to this year. So, must
Yeah,
be something in the water up there. Yeah.
Springer had his best year since like 2018,
Since he
2017,
won the
somewhere in
World
that
Series.
ballpark.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just surprised with this Blue Jays team all year. I'm trying to just think about now, what did I miss in my evaluation on this team? It feels
I
like it's
mean,
a sum of the parts situation.
for a while, you were correct. They were like last in the East, and then all of a sudden they won like 20 games in a row or something crazy like that. And then,
Last year they were last in the division, and all of a sudden they end up having the best record in the American League this year.
yeah. So,
And I'm trying to figure out where they made their changes because if you think about it, like their big free agent acquisition, Anthony Santander, he was a non-factor. He was injured
yeah,
pretty much the entire year, and I don't even think he was on the World Series roster.
he wasn't because he got injured again. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that was their big move in the offseason, and they made a bunch of moves in the midseason. They traded for Shane Bieber, obviously, and he's the one who ended up giving up the home run to Will Smith that lost the game. And
yeah,
then Trey Savage, of course, comes out of nowhere after being basically a first round draft pick last year.
yeah. Yeah, I think you
Max
had the
Scherzer was a
pitching.
free agent guy. Just
Yeah, I think the pitching got on track, and then you just had the guys start playing together. I mean, whoever their hitting coach is, that was the amount of discipline at the plate, and especially with those close calls, like they rarely struck out the whole entire series. So, and they were like not swinging at sliders that spent like 80% of the time in the zone, just barely missing.
well, I'm pretty impressed with this team. Although I don't know what exactly is going to happen next year. This very
Yeah.
much feels like the last hurrah of this particular group of guys.
especially now that Bichette's gone, you're going to basically have Vladdy Jr. is going to be holding it down essentially.
Yeah, I think Spring. I haven't looked at the specifics on it yet, but I believe Springer's still there, and obviously Santander should hopefully be healthy, get all of his issues out of the way, and
Yeah,
hopefully try to come back and be that force in the middle of the lineup.
yeah.
I don't know if you try to running back. Obviously, Scherzer's a free agent. Bieber, I believe, is. I think Bieber's still going to be there next year. I think he's got a. I mean, he might actually have a player option.
Yeah, the only time Scherzer is going to look good is when he is playing the Yankees or the Mariners because we're swinging for the fence and striking out. So,
Okay, so Springer and Gaussman are uh, locked up until 2027. So there's they're at
plus they
least going
got
to
a
be there
couple
next
years.
year.
Yeah,
They're going
yeah,
to be there next year
yeah.
at least. Hold on, when they say free agent 20, yeah. So basically, those two are going to be there next year, and then Jimenez is locked up. Santander is locked up. Bieber has got a player option for next year, so who
Well,
knows what he does?
probably.
I imagine he'll probably leave.
Yeah,
Hoffman signed for a couple more years. It's really just like Bo Bichette, and then they got a lot of youngsters on that team. Barger really stepped up in the playoffs here.
yeah, dude. Addison Barger was.
Clement had more hits than anybody in postseason in a single postseason this year.
Yeah, yeah. Ernie Clement and Addison Barger really just stepped up. You know what? Addison Barger apparently told Eddie Rosario that every time he gets up to the plate, he just swings as hard as he can at everything.
I was reading a report, well, not reading. They were talking about it during one of the games that Barger was like 150 pounds at one point, and he just like dedicated like a couple years to like getting up to like 220.
Oh, geez.
He just got hulked up and just got big, and then
Just went Hulk smash on everyone.
yeah, I mean this was back in the minors, and he was doing his thing, and you got to think they're gonna do something with that team because they were also like batting this Luke's kid in the second hole who was like a 31-year-old journeyman minor leaguer.
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Nathan Lukes. They
yeah.
were putting
That's
him
it's
second in the order.
yeah. You do the E is not silent on his name.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure Nathan's going to be pissed when he listens to this recording, but whatever. So.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, dude. You can come on and yell at us about
Yeah,
all about it.
we'd love to have you, honestly. So.
Yeah. And then, of course, Trey Savage is obviously going to be a big piece of this team going forward.
Yeah, yeah. If he continues to pitch, oh man, dude, the knowledge that Guzman has about throwing a splitter. I mean, I would even just. I mean, he has easily the best splitter in baseball. Maybe Yamamoto's splitter. Yamamoto's splitter has a little more horizontal movement to it,
Hmm.
but it's probably equally as good in a different way. But as far as vertical splitter, man, I mean, when he's ready to retire, if I'm a team, I'm just picking him up just so he can teach the pitching staff how to throw a splitter, honestly. So
There were a lot of reports saying that Max Scherzer was a big influence on Savage as well.
yeah,
And I can see that.
yeah. Yeah, no, you gotta. It's nice to have the older guys there. I mean, Clayton Kershaw, you just gotta know that he's helping out their bullpen too. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone on the Dodgers who has a good curveball throws that beautiful Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax is the one who taught him how to throw his. And when you look at the Dodgers, they all have that beautiful traditional 12-6 curve, and they know when to throw it. Even Yamamoto, he's got that 88 mile an hour curveball that just 12-6 on the clock and it absolutely drops off when the fastball is working. So
And we got to give Yamamoto his flowers here because he's the reason that the Dodgers have won this year.
yeah, and then
He
that's why he
pitched
deserves the
outstanding.
MVP too. So like he Randy Johnson the Toronto Blue Jays this
Yes,
year. So
and they used the Randy Johnson term because he was the Randy Johnson back in 2001 did the whole throwing. He threw after a day after in Game 7, and Randy threw Game 6 just like Yamamoto threw in Game 6, and
Yeah,
then Yamamoto goes and he throws 2.2 innings. Oh, he actually ended the 2.2 innings, I believe, is what he threw, which is
yeah,
more than what Glasnow and uh, Otani did.
yeah.
It's
I was
wild when you
re
think about that, because in Game 6, I think Glasnow threw like 15 pitches, something like that, and you couldn't get more than 2 innings, 2.1 innings out of Glasnow.
he threw Yamamoto in Japan one time through a complete game with 138 pitches. The guy's a machine, an absolute machine.
And there was a reason why he was not only winning the Cy Young Award in Japan, he was winning the MVPs too.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think
it's
we're
just
realizing, we're starting to see that now that he was healthy. He
yeah,
wasn't really all the way healthy last year, although he was still effective in the playoffs last year, but he wasn't doing this.
this was insane. It was really fun to watch too. So
I
and
really just hope
that curveball was his best pitch. That was his best strikeout pitch. He got the most ground balls, the most swing and miss off that curveball. So
it's the Japanese pitchers I've noticed, Otani, Yamamoto, even in Daisuke when he came over, Yu Darvish, all of these guys just have the largest pitching arsenals. It's
yeah,
not that they have like a couple of good pitches; they have like 6 pitches.
there's that guy on the Cubs who's really good too, Imanaga. Yeah,
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 Imanaga is more of a splitter fastball guy, but he does it from the left side, which is different than what typically you see. You don't see a lot of his style.
yeah, yeah,
Like outside of guys like maybe Max Fried, you don't see a lot of the American pitchers having the larger arsenals and then having to like figure out what works and what doesn't. That's more like
yeah.
the Japanese pitchers. They just have this massive arsenal. Like Darvish always talks about how he like will just try to make up work on a pitch, and randomly during the season he'll just like see something someone else throws and you're like, oh, I want to try that and add that to my thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think every Mariners starting pitcher has 5 pitches because once they got Castillo, jeez, wow. Ever since he came over, he taught everyone how to throw a two-seam fastball. So now everyone throws a two-seamer, everyone throws a splitter, everyone has a fastball. That's a requirement. You have to have a fastball if you're a Mariners pitcher. And then a lot of them throw the knuckle curve too.
I think
So
it's pretty much a requirement of every pitcher that you have to have a fastball.
I know, but like for whatever reason, Mariners, you have to be right-handed, and your
It's
fastball has
like a
to spin a
requirement that
bajillion times.
it's like the requirement that every single time Kike Hernandez throws the ball from center field, from the outfield to the infield, he has to dive.
Yeah,
Have you ever
right.
noticed that? He
Yeah.
throws the ball with so much momentum, he always ends up like falling over. It's his thing.
Hey, whatever works, Kike, because he takes the whole season off and then shows up big in October. So
He's just sort of like the utility glue guy that
yeah,
the
he
Dodgers
really is.
have. He'll play for like $5 and he'll just go everywhere.
Dude, speaking of outfielders, Dalton Varsho, man, they probably would have given him the MVP if the Blue Jays would have won because he saved a lot of runs out there
Yeah,
in
Varsho
Game Seven
played.
alone.
Yeah, he had a great diving catch that probably saved 2 runs
He had two
earlier
of
in the
them.
game.
Yeah, he had two
They
that
still
game.
scored, but on the sac
Yeah,
fly, but it probably would
yeah.
have been 2 more runs if he didn't
Oh,
make that play.
easy. Yeah, bases loaded and only getting what did they only get? One run both times.
So, do you have any closing remarks that you want to say? Any fun factoids, or do we already get all that out of the way with the
I
managerial
think we
stuff?
got it all out of the way, but I'll repeat it. Like Will Smith has caught the most innings of any catcher ever in the postseason. So
I think it's still another couple weeks before we get to finally put a pin on the awards situation. MLB is doing their little ceremony, I believe, in the middle of November. So we're going to have to wait a bit more on our discussions about that. I'm sure
perfect.
we'll be happy to re-examine that area when we have new news to talk about there.
I'm boycotting baseball if something doesn't go my way. So
You know, I gotta say something though, as a neutral party, I have been able to enjoy baseball a lot more not having a favorite team. Because
yeah,
I can just watch a game and just enjoy the game for the game. I usually like didn't like watching the World Series when I had a team, because I always got my team loyalties and allegiances and stuff. And even with the Dodgers, there was enough of like a respect factor where I could just enjoy the game,
Yeah.
regardless of who won or who lost. Like I could just enjoy the game as a fan, and not
I've been a
having a team kind of helped that out quite a bit.
I've been a tortured baseball fan for too long. I can't go back. I don't know any different. So
I thought the same, and then I got lied to too many times by Full Throttle moves and Lucas Giolito 1 year deal, and I had enough. I had enough. I think
yeah,
I'm gonna stay a baseball free agent for a while until something really, really wows me and I can just enjoy the game more. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for now.
yeah. As a Mariners fan, it's nice because we've been lied to our whole entire lives, so you just get used to it after a while.
Yeah, at some point you gotta say enough's enough, but
Yeah.
I'm as
Hopefully
mad
we'll
as
make
hell
it
and I'm
back
not
to
gonna
the
take this
world.
anymore.
Hopefully we'll get to the World Series in my lifetime would be nice. So
Well, you got a lot of years to happen. I mean, Ricky Bobby always talked about living to be 300 years old, so maybe
yeah,
there's
there you
time.
go. Yeah.
And on that note, I'll see you guys next week.
Bye now.